Welcome to the UK Travel Planning Podcast. Your host is the founder of the UK Travel Planning website, Tracy Collins. Each week, Tracy shares destination guides, travel tips and itinerary ideas, as well as interviews with a variety of guests who share their knowledge and experience of UK travel to help you plan your perfect UK vacation. Join us as we explore the UK from cosmopolitan cities to quaint villages, from historic castles to beautiful islands, and from the picturesque countryside to seaside towns.
Hi everybody and welcome to this special Best of 2025 episode of the UK Travel Planning Podcast. I'm here this week again with Doug.
Hello there. We are so excited to sit down together and look back at an amazing year of helping you plan your UK adventure.
We certainly are. Now, it has been a biggest year yet on the podcast. We released 51 episodes. We only had last week off. And we passed a total of 555,650 downloads. And that was actually, I took that number at the beginning of December. So it's actually going to be a lot more than that now. And then more than 200,000 of those downloads have come from 2025 alone.
Wow. So thank you for listening wherever you are in the world. We've had listeners from 195 countries and territories. Just think about that.
I know, it's crazy.
Most of you are tuning in from the United States, Australia, the UK, Canada, and New Zealand. So thank you.
Yeah, and of course, everybody else as well from all other different countries and territories around the world. It's absolutely incredible. I can't believe that we have people listening to us every week talking about beautiful places to visit in the UK, lots of tips about where to visit in the UK, trip reports in the UK, everything UK basically.
Yeah, and listen to me talk about trains, which I do quite a bit.
Yes, you do talk a lot about trains, but that is part of the beauty of what you can offer on the podcast. True. So anyway, not only have we reached that many 195 countries and territories, but that's over 13,000 cities around the world. So that blows my mind. 13,000 cities.
I didn't know there was that many.
Well, there are, and we seem to be listened to in quite a few cities on every continent in the world, except I'm sure Antarctica, unless somebody in one of those research stations listens to you.
Maybe the penguins.
You never know. You'd never know. So basically, I thought in this episode we would just go through some of the most popular episodes that we've had this year. So have a little chat. Just have a little bit of a chat about the travels that Doug and I did in the UK in 2025. Talk a little bit about what's coming in 2026. Really just end the year and wish you all, a happy new year for 2026, and to encourage you to get in touch with your planning to visit the UK next year. So top episodes of the year. What do you reckon, Doug?
I would say something about London, discovering London.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got our top 6 episodes of the year, right? Wow. And the first 2 are London focused. So these are just episodes that came out in 2025. So obviously it goes to obviously mathematically the episodes earlier on in the year are going to do better than episodes later on in the year. That just kind of goes how it is because some episodes have only been out for like 3 weeks. Correct. But anyway, I just wanted to get a taste of kind of what was really popular throughout the year. So anything London, basically. Yes. So our top episode was Discovering London, 5 Unmissable Experiences for Your 2025 Adventure.
That covers a lot of bases.
Yeah, well, it was my favourite experiences in London, and people kind of know what they are if you listen to the podcast fairly regularly, but I just wanted to kind of summarise those in an episode. I also did some solo episodes, which aren't my favourite. Mm-hmm. You see, you're not going to deny that because you're going to say I like talking, aren't you?
Well, it has been noticed.
But I really don't like doing solo episodes. But I did some solo episodes, and one of those was on exploring the Tower of London. And that was our second most popular episode of the year. Okay. So I also did episodes similar to that. I think I did one on Westminster Abbey, and I did one on Buckingham Palace, and I think that might be at the 3. I can't remember now, but they've all done very well. If you want more of those, let me know. And then the next 4 most popular episodes really lovely have been with our some of our partners that we have been working with in 2025. As you know, if you listen to the podcast, we have hugely high standards about who we partner and work with. We make sure that we meet all of the people for the companies that we work with. We try to go for small businesses, small family-owned businesses, because that's what we want to support. And I'm really excited to say that we have some new partners for 2026, but I'm not going to. They're going to keep those secret until 2026. But there are some new partners coming. But so it's a huge thank you to all our partners. As these episodes probably early on in the year, so they're going to get more numbers because that's how it works. But Riz from XFA Cars, so if you're looking for a transfer from any of the London airports and beyond, Riz and his team are who to look for. They have excellent reviews.
Great credentials.
Yeah, absolutely. And we often have people that say, oh, we didn't book, but we wish we had, and then have had it booked a return trip to Heathrow with Riz and his team. Also, Riz and his team also do trips from London if you want to transfer to other destinations throughout the UK as well. So you can contact Riz. But I have a page actually on the London Travel Planning website all about Riz and XFA Cars and transfers from London airports and beyond. Next episode that has done really, really well was with Daniel Hancock from Bath Insider Tours, who talks all about exploring Bath and beyond.
Beautiful,
and we've also had another episode where we've talked about Bath as well. So Bath is incredibly popular. And actually, you just finished a YouTube video all about getting to Bath from London.
I really have, by train from London Paddington.
So another very popular destination. Another one of our partners who cropped up in this list is Ollie from Discover Real London. So if you want to take a private black cab tour of the London sites, Ollie and his team from Discover Real London are absolutely just outstanding. Outstanding.
Really
and I love going around London in a black cab, and you feel like a VIP, and going around as well with one of the drivers from Ollie's team who just know so much about London. They are locals. They've all done the knowledge, which means that they have studied to be able to drive a black cab around London. And just again, I mean, all of our partners get fantastic reviews, but again, Ollie, really popular. We love going out with Ollie as well. And the next episode that did extremely well this year is, and obviously anything to do with the Cotswolds. Everybody loves listening about the Cotswolds, and that's Unveiling the Cotswold with Lisa Benjamin.
Who is absolutely amazing.
Yes, and Lisa and her husband Tom run Go Cotswolds, an award-winning small group tour.
I was going to get that in.
Award-winning small group tour company who tour the Cotswolds, and they are fabulous.
Yes.
And I was actually really lucky as well this year. I went on some tours with Go Cotswolds, and I know you did, but we'll talk about those in a moment.
With your mother?
Yes, you did. Well, my mum loves Lisa, loves Go Cotswolds. She absolutely, she can't wait already for 2026. She's asking me what tours we're going to go out with Go Cotswolds, because she absolutely loves going out with them.
Thank you, Lisa.
So thanks again to all our partners who came on the podcast in 2025.
Thank you. You're all amazing.
They're all fantastic. And we can't wait to speak to you again in 2026. And we have some new partners come on as well, which is going to be so good. Now, what about you guys? So what is it that you wanted to know? So we noticed the same questions coming up again and again in the Facebook group and via SpeakPipe and on, via email. And that is basically, where to stay in London, how long to spend at each place, about getting around the UK, how to create a trip that doesn't feel rushed. Because I know it's very easy to try to put a lot, in fact, too much into your itinerary when you visit in the UK. And obviously train travel. Well,
that's right. I mean, train travel was huge this year in the UK. There's new lines, there's new operators, there's just such a lot going on all the time in the UK. So many listeners wanted help understanding the different operators, the different lines, the fares, the tickets, the passes. There's a lot to get your head around. So, but obviously things like seat reservations, when are they needed, when are they not needed, and also which the scenic routes, which is the preferred routes, which is the scenic routes.
So we've done a couple of things around that. So you've already got your Guide to UK Train Travel ebook. So we've got that as available, and that as a bestseller, and you can get that. We'll put a link in the show notes to that. Also working on YouTube videos showing people like how to get from place to place and the different options. So we've already got some very popular videos that you've put on YouTube.
Yeah.
Some train ones, for example.
We've got the Caledonian Sleeper, that was the Lowlander because it's not done that often. We've got the Edinburgh Tram as well. Before people said, let me know. Yes, I know it's not a train. It is a tram. It is different, but it's still popular. Yeah. People ask that question. I also looked at the operators operate across the East Coast Main Line.
Which is from London to Edinburgh.
London King's Cross up to Edinburgh Waverley, the East Coast Main Line. So the Caledonian Sleeper one's on the West Coast Main Line, and that's from London Euston. So I've just done the video from London Paddington to Bath. I've got videos looking at 9 of the major London train stations. I've got trains down how to get to Windsor, how to get to Hampton Court, how to get to Brighton. I've also got the West Coast going up from Euston to Edinburgh Waverley. Also purchased a Britrail pass, so I explain how to use that as well, and much more.
So there's lots and lots to come on YouTube. Yeah. So do follow UK Travel Planning on YouTube so you can catch up with Doug's videos all about train travel. We had planned to do this end of January. We're going to have to put it back slightly because of just some logistical issues. Is that Doug's going to be doing a workshop on planning a UK train trip and some sort of explaining some of those things like how to choose the right pass, whatever for yourself, how to save money, how to plan your trip. So that is hopefully becoming at some point next year.
That's right. I mean, I've got a lot of experience with, not just travelling by train. I actually worked in the industry across many different parts of the industry. So I know what I'm talking about with this.
Exactly. And we've obviously helped lots of people plan their train trips through Consults.
So I'm happy to share that with them.
Yeah. So, of course, a lot of the answers to a lot of the questions, like about London transport, driving routes, how to get from the airport into London, best day trips from London, things to do in Bath, things to do in Edinburgh, all sorts. So we've got so many different topics, so many questions that have come in. But I just want to point out, and as I say in the Facebook group, and a lot of these questions, in fact, 99.9% of these questions are answered either through the podcast or on our website, UK Travel Planning, londontravelplanning.com. So we've got 2 different websites. We've got a UK website, so it covers all of the UK, so that's England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And we have a dedicated London website as well with very specific information about London. And we do have products as well. So we have a London map, we've got a London itinerary planner, we've got itinerary planners for the UK, and we do have some more surprises coming next year as well in terms of different products to help you plan your trip. So we have products, obviously we have services as well. So, I mean, we did this year create a new kind of service to help you plan your trip. So previous to this year, we did one-to-one consults only, where you booked us for an hour and we would go through your itinerary, fine-tune it with you, answer any questions. But because we were traveling a lot, we offered a video consult. Yeah. And that's done really well as well.
That's proven very popular.
Yeah. So when it comes to a video consult, just to explain the difference, and I'm going to explain this a bit more in the first episode of 2026. But basically, if you have an itinerary, you can send us that itinerary, and we will do a video critique with tips and answer your questions and links. We'll add links in. We'll do a very thorough review of your itinerary.
We streamline
and then reply to you. We'll give you a Google Doc and we'll reply to you in a video. So you get that. So that's one way that you can work with us. The alternative way is that you can book us for an hour and we can help you with your itinerary, answer questions. We do ask that you have an idea of where you want to go to make the most of an hour. But that's what we do at the moment. And actually, we will be launching if you want us to completely plan your itinerary, being that we can't book anything because we're not travel agents, but we are travel planners. If you want us to plan your trip, you haven't got time, you can contact us with that. We'll send you a questionnaire and we can actually put together your itinerary. But you need to contact us because we need to talk about all the different, there's lots of variables if you prefer us to do that. But if you're a planner and you've got a vague idea and you know what you want to do and what sort of things you want to actually put into your trip and you have that kind of itinerary, say, at least a rough itinerary, then either the video or the one-to-one consult is the way to go.
Yes.
And Doug can do consults just about trains if you want. And we have done ones that are just dedicated to planning your UK rail adventure.
That's right. Bear in mind, I have done every line.
Yes, you have.
I know where they're run.
I don't know anybody that knows as much as you do about the UK. Because not only have you worked on the railways, you built trains,
tested them, commissioned them.
Exactly. So I just think you've had so much experience from the shop floor up.
And management, project management.
Exactly. So much experience. So, tap into that knowledge if you're concerned about your train travels in the UK and want some support and help with that. Doug's the person to contact and work with. Again, I'll put the links into the show notes for this one. Now, this year we did spend some time in the UK. You spent more time than I did.
Yes.
First 6 weeks of the year, we were living in Edinburgh.
Yes.
We used that as a base, and I did some travels down to London, spent a bit of time in London. I got the Caledonian Sleeper up to Inverness, which was lovely. And then you did some travels around Scotland. You even headed over to Northern Ireland, didn't you?
I did. I caught the train from Edinburgh to Glasgow. Then I caught the hand coaches across to Belfast, and then travelled back the following day.
All for a YouTube video.
See, as much as I love trains, I'm not great on the water.
No, you're not.
But I did it. Luckily, it was very smooth.
So that was good. It was actually good to be based in Edinburgh. It was good to be in Scotland for the 6 weeks. The weather, of course, that time of the year was a bit challenging. And unfortunately, one of the reasons we wanted to be in Edinburgh was for Hogmanay, because I've been desperate to go to Hogmanay my entire life. And what happens? Massive storm, and it was called off. So unfortunately, still have not been to Hogmanay.
It can happen.
I know.
And I travelled to Inverness. I was in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Dundee, Perth.
Yes.
I travelled around a bit, and I got stranded in
Inverness. You did, yes.
Yeah,
you did. Now, I did, as I say, I went down to London quite a bit as well. Took Caledonian Sleeper back up to Inverness, and then took the train to Edinburgh just because I loved doing the Caledonian Sleeper. When I was in London, I went to Evensong at St. Paul's Cathedral, which was so lovely. I went out with another one of our partners. I went out with the English bus, and I took it. I loved it. Had a fantastic tour with them, and we went to Stonehenge, Bath, and then we went to a secret Cotswolds village, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a secret. Again, we've had so much feedback from those of you who've booked with the English bus, how fantastic it was and the amazing day out you had. I will say as well, for the English bus and for Go Cotswolds, we do have promo codes for a small discount. So do check out on the website. I will put in the show notes so that you can use the link and the promo code to get a small discount with both Go Cotswolds and the English bus. Now, you went out with the Cotswolds as well. Cotswolds. I had
a most fantastic day. It was absolutely wonderful. It was a lovely autumn day or fall day, and the colours, the sun was out. Just amazing.
Yeah, so you've had it, and I've been having a great time just on the podcast talking to all of our partners as well, which has been fantastic. And also meeting some of our listeners when we've been out and about in person is always amazing. The first time we were recognised, I think it was in London. I was actually doing a show at Buckingham Palace, and I was like, oh my goodness. I kind of got used to it now, which is a bit strange. I don't know if people recognise my voice, or I suppose maybe see my face on Instagram and stuff like that. But that's lovely. We love it when people. In fact, I know you got recognised in Edinburgh because your legs on the tram.
Yeah, that's true. I have quite distinctive legs. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that was actually September last year, but it was absolutely amazing. And of course, I've spoken to so many of you as well for your trip reports, and I know they are really, really popular. And we love talking to you about all the different trips and how you plan with it. Whether it's two of you gone on a holiday, whether you've gone solo, whether it's different age groups from your family, the different size groups, whatever. It's always fantastic to chat to you about your trip, and what you really enjoyed about your trip. And of course, as I said, we're continuing to grow our network of trusted UK partners, and we've got some really exciting news coming in 2026. So hang on to the podcast next year to listen to that. Now, we talked a little bit about your trip over in September. We actually have an entire podcast about that. But you did spend kind of the entire time really was about YouTube.
It was trains and more trains around London, around the rest of the country. It's just basically gathering footage with different operators and how to catch the train. Not so much about the places themselves, but about which station, particularly from London, when you got so many stations. I chose 9 of the main ones, terminus stations, and did videos or gathered footage about, where do you catch the train from this station to which areas?
Yeah.
That sort of, how long does the journey take? And some of those stations are quite large, how to navigate around them, things like that. It's all those practical things that you need to know about if you want to, say, catch a train from London. So I went, to Brighton. I went up to the Cotswolds. I went to Bath,
Oxford,
Cambridge.
You did a lot. You did a lot of train travel,
and not to mention sort of Glasgow and Edinburgh. Yeah.
So all of that's coming to that's not coming to the podcast. That will be coming to YouTube. But I did want to share that on the podcast. Yes. And Doug will be back in 2026 to share more about train travel in the UK. Yep. I think we'll probably maybe try and do an episode where we'll talk about things like the train passes and the Great Rail Pass. I think it might be useful.
Yeah, it's quite complex, and I've had many, many years to get my head around it. And so if you're planning a trip, you're new to it, it can be quite overwhelming. And some people have found it a little bit stressful. So it doesn't matter. You can ask me the same question 10 times.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
I was going to say, you also have a Facebook group that is just about UK train travel tips.
That's
so
right.
You can join that as well and ask questions on that.
Doesn't
and of course, there's quite a lot of train travel focused podcasts as well. Now, so we've had a fantastic year. We've done a lot of consults. We've done a lot of podcasts. You've done a few YouTube videos with more to come. I'm planning in 2026 when it comes to the podcast. I'm planning to do a bit more deep dives into some of their different areas of London. I think that's something that I know that people have kind of asked. They want to know a little bit about, what does that do in Westminster? What does that do in Covent Garden? So I'm going to be sharing a little bit more deep dives into each of those different areas. We'll be continuing to get our new partners and past partners onto the podcast as well to talk about the various regions and areas that they work in, that they tour in, that they can share, valuable tips and information with you as well. And also so you can meet them, because I think when you're planning your trip and you're thinking about what tour to take or which company to go with, it's so lovely for you to be able to hear those people who run and own the companies or do the tours, and you can actually kind of get to know them through the podcast. And that is the beauty of the podcast. And so we will continue to do the podcast every week in 2026. I have some plans to go back in 2026. I actually fly into the UK. I arrive on the 10th of March. I'll be back in the UK for a few months. I've got some fantastic things planned. Hopefully I'll be also doing I'll do some Instagram stuff, but probably more Instagram shorts, and definitely be things on Instagram, so you can follow on that. Also we'll be reporting back on the podcast from that trip. You'll no doubt be able to find me at some point in London at the V&A.
Most likely. Look in the tea room.
No, Cass Courts, I would say. Cass Courts first, then the tea room. And then obviously I'll be continuing to, as I say, work with a number of our wonderful partners in the UK to showcase just how amazing they are. I'm trying to think what else we'll be doing next year, but at the moment we've kind of got the first 6 months planned. After that, it's a bit of a question mark. So if you have something in particular that you're particularly really want to know about, interested in, get in touch. And I do know I did have a request a while ago for an episode about the Channel Islands. Now they're bailiwicks, so they're slightly different, and I won't have to explain how that works, but we can talk about that in an episode. I know Doug's very passionate about Guernsey. I've recently visited Jersey, so I'd love to chat about those and what it means to be a bailiwick. And I know we've been asked again to do an episode about some of the country gardens. So I wouldn't mind doing, because I'm going to be back at a time when I'm going to be able to explore in a bit more depth a lot of the beautiful English country gardens.
Well, there's going to be lots and lots of questions about trains coming, so obviously I'm going to need to go back at some point to update some of those and find the answers.
Right, okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. Right, well, that is kind of what I planned. So a lot about London, some stuff about gardens for sure, lots about trains, lots of usual practical travel tips, but a couple of things I'm going to ask. Please get in touch via SpeakPipe if there's a particular topic that you would like us to cover. Obviously, we're going to head to 200 episodes, not too distant future. So that's 200, that's a crazy 200 episodes about different places around the UK to visit. But we still want ideas from you guys about what is it that you want to know? Right. What is it that's missing? What you kind of, what is it that we haven't yet answered for you?
I seriously, if there's any questions about trains or is anything any gap or anything you want to know, please ask. Ask.
Get in touch via SpeakPipe or email us or join one of the Facebook groups and let us know. Do give us a follow on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. Also, if you enjoy the podcast, we would really ask if you would consider sponsoring us from as little as $3 a month to sponsor us. That's not even a cup of coffee. Helps keep us going. It's expensive to run a podcast. It's not a cheap thing to do. It takes a lot of time as well, a lot of energy, but we are so dedicated to getting this podcast out to you every week. So that's something. Or if you can't do that, then just share it with your friends or leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app, because that also really helps to get us out there. Let's get to that millionth download of our podcast. I'm so excited about that. Anyway, I think that is it, really. Just to wish everybody a happy and safe new year.
Most definitely
we're going to see you in 2026 for another great year of planning your perfect UK adventure. But I think that just leaves for both me and Doug to say until next year. Happy UK travel planning. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the UK Travel Planning Podcast. As always, show notes can be found at uktravelplanning.com. If you've enjoyed the show, why not leave us feedback via text or a review on your favourite podcast app? We love to hear from you, and you never know, you may receive a shout out in a future episode. But as always, that just leaves me to say, until next week, happy UK travel planning.